And just gently bring it back from the distraction. Seems quite a visual experience. We're not visualizing anything. Just trying to observe, be curious of the experience, the sensation of the breath. The second part to mindfulness practice is open monitoring. So this is where we're just going to pay attention, non-judgmentally. So we can let go of trying to count the breaths, being consumed by it, and notice that our mind's quieting down a little bit. And then we can just observe sensations in the body without being attached to them, without judging it. We can observe thoughts that pop in and pop out without being caught up by them. We can be aware of feelings, emotions, without becoming attached to them. Just enjoy the experience of being still. Like you're on an island in the middle of all this stuff going on all around you and within you. And then just for the last few moments, let the mind just do whatever it wants. Just savour how good it feels to be relaxed. How enjoyable it is to feel peace, to give the mind a rest, give the body a rest. We can gently bring ourselves back. Bring the mind back to the breath. Bring the mind back to the body, back to the contact points, the back against the chair, your buttocks squashed against the chair, your hands in your lap, feet on the floor. We can wiggle our toes, wiggle our fingers, have a little stretch. And when we're ready, just gently opening the eyes. Feels good, doesn't it? Yummy stuff. So I just want to tell you a little bit about the mechanisms of action. So why does it work? Why does it help people feel good? Because it enhances neuroplasticity and emotional circuitry in the brain. So areas where our fight or flight responses, areas which take us off into rumination. It really enhances these areas of the brain. In the frontal cortex, that's where we do a lot of problem solving. And so when it comes to a point where we're experiencing a stressor, because we're doing the mindfulness practice and we've got more efficiency in the frontal cortex, instead of being in the lower areas of the brain, the more primitive, reactive, primal areas of the brain, we're in the human areas of the brain where we're thinking, hang on a minute, does that really warrant that much emotion? Do I really need to be feeling that stressed? What can I do about this situation now so that I can get back to that state of happiness, that state of peace? So mindfulness really, it's not something fluffy or scientific, it's just brain training. We're training our brain to be more evolved at being human. And that's what the ancient Egyptians said. And the root word of meditation, the root word meditatio, actually means any form of mental or physical exercise. So it's not spiritual in nature, it's just a tool what we can use, like I said, to be more flourishing, to experience more of our potential. Oh, it's having a funny do. Sorry. So basically, the other thing which I found in my research, it's not just about mindfulness training and trying to have this mindful philosophy in life. Another thing what we can do is explicit emotional competency training. So the mindfulness is really implicit emotional competency training. But if we train people as well, explicitly in emotional competency training, that's very, very cognitive, isn't it? So it's not just allowing our brain to develop itself, we're putting things in there. Low emotional competency predicts depression, anxiety, loneliness and increased stress because of these things. So in loneliness we've got negative attributions, negative reactivity. In anxiety we've got a lot of rumination, hypervigilance. In depression we've got rumination, self-blaming, catastrophizing. And in stress we've got overreactivity and not very good problem-focused coping. So when we can train people explicitly how to help them with these things, and they do the mindfulness training as well, we see better results with regards to increasing positive mental health and reducing negative mental health. So that's what my thesis explored. It was a 6-week emotional competency training program which used implicit, so the mindfulness and meditation, and the explicit, teaching them tools, exploring things like self-compassion, pro-social communities, things outside our emotion as well which can impact us, and then we can think about them differently to give ourselves more of a chance to experience a thriving state of well-being. And that's what I found. So significantly reduced depression, loneliness, anxiety came down, and emotional competency went up, negative emotional competency went down, and general mindfulness, which is something that predicts overall well-being, also significantly increased. So that was great, and off the back of the success of that, my formula for mental health prevention is using the emotional competency training and the regular mindfulness practice, and then we see increased thriving states of well-being, which is what we should all be experiencing, really. And off all of this, the CVCL supported me, so I put on some workshops in the community, and they went really well as well. Again, I found that it significantly reduces stress. About 14 is a problematic score, so we can see that over time, if we did it a bit longer, that would have been the trajectory. Depression as well, again about 12 is a problematic score. So we're coming down underneath that problematic level, which is great. They're really empowered and had tools and coping strategies, and they were using this mindfulness practice on a regular basis, which was training the brain and enhancing the resiliency, and anxiety came down as well, and emotional intelligence went up. So a lot of universities in the UK are using mindfulness training now with students. I think here at UCLAN we did a programme for staff, and that went really well. But what we should be doing is not just doing the mindfulness, that's what I believe. I think we should be doing this explicit emotional competency training as well, giving people more skills. And I found with my work and in my business, you can teach people the benefits of mindfulness and meditation. It's one thing that they know that it's going to be good for them, but it's another thing actually being disciplined and sitting down and gifting themselves that time. So when we do explicit emotional competency training, we can learn about self-compassion and loving ourselves enough to sit down and not see it as a chore, but see it as something beautiful, what we're doing for ourselves, which is going to enable us to flourish. So if we did it here at UCLAN and we offered these courses to people, maybe as like an elective module, this is what we'd see.
reduce stress, depression, anxiety, loneliness, and maladaptive coping strategies, which is things like engaging in alcohol consumption, smoking dope, all those other things which people do when they have this that emotional reaction. Because you get it caught though, don't we all feel that, like, oh, in your stomach though when you're stressed. And we reach for things to try and get rid of that feeling. So we might smoke or we might drink or all those kinds of things. That's maladaptive coping strategies. So if we can swap them for when I'm just going to go to the toilet, I'm just going to do 5 minutes of breathing. It'd be better. And it's going to increase well-being, going to increase grades, because we're going to have more focus, enhancing this frontal area of the brain, which is obviously problem solving and logic and reasoning. So we're going to be better able academics. It's going to increase student experience at being at university, autonomy as well, resilience and positive coping strategies. And these, like I say, some universities in the UK that are already embracing mindfulness for students, but we should up the ante a bit more, not just do the mindfulness, but really explore what else can I do, who am I, what does it need to be human, and it's really empowering the other stuff. And that's it. Got any questions?